we will be covering these topics today. Yeah, please move to next slide. Yeah, firstly, we will give the introduction to XM Sitecore XM Cloud. Let's start with the basic. Like XM Cloud is Sitecore SaaS based headless CMS. So it designed from the ground up for speed, scalability, and flexibility. And what makes like XM Cloud stand out? Its ability to combine the power of modern front end framework like React, Next.js, or Angular. And there is a marketer friendly tools also, new tool such as Sitecore pages. And like here, developers can build fast, dynamic digital experiences, while marketers can easily manage and optimize content without relying on software developers for every change. And like we can see the feature highlights like Jamstack Ready, like it supports modern web development with fast, secure, and scalable architecture. And second, like embedded personalization, so it lets marketers deliver tailored content to different audience segments, improving engagement. And like it uses edge content delivery, GraphQL. So it uses GraphQL for fast, efficient content delivery, and it ensures quick site performance. And it includes pre-built component also, so developers can build sites faster and maintain consistency. And it is having a page editor also. It is an advanced page editor, so it is a drag and drop editor that empower marketers to create and update pages easily. And it is having faster development and deployment also. Like it is cloud native design enables rapid updates and continuous delivery. And related to customer portal, like it is a centralized dashboard for managing your XM Cloud instances and accessing support. And it supports easy site management and headless SSA. Like we can use these templates for quick site setup and easy content management. And built-in insights offers analytics and reporting to help optimize content and campaigns. And it enables quick creation of custom forms for data collection. Like we don't need extra plugins here. Yeah, can you please move to next slide?
Yeah, yeah, wait a minute. So adding to the Avnish points, like how the Sitecore XM Cloud is different from the traditional XP and XM is that so it is provisioned by the Sitecore, so you do not need to take care of the infrastructure cost because CM instance will be created by the Sitecore itself as well as the editing host, which is generally used to edit the content in Pages Builder or Experience Editor. That will be provisioned by the Sitecore as well as the Solar instance, which is used by the CM, where you can search the content will be provisioned by the Sitecore. So in those cases, you can save the cost. And also in terms of a front end where the your application will be deployed, so either you can go with the Vercel or you can provision your own on Netlify or you can go with the Azure App Service also. But if you are going with the any service apart from the Vercel, then you need to write up your own DevOps pipeline to deploy the code. And as well as when you are coming to the XM Cloud, so the content delivery server altogether will be not there. Why? Because you will be publishing the content from the CM to the Experience Edge. Experience Edge is a SaaS enabled endpoints and it is also having the CDN. So you do not need to replicate the instances like you used to do in the CD for the better performance. So it will be taken care by the Experience Edge. So these are the major savings when you are moving to the SaaS. Yeah, over to you, Avinish.
Yeah, yeah, please move to next slide. Yeah, let's understand embedded personalization. Like the embedded personalization is Sitecore out of the box personalization layer in XM Cloud. Like it allows marketers to easily personalize content at the page level. Like we can use some predefined audience rules to easily personalize the content at the page level. And but we are not just talking about talking about basic personalization here. Embedded personalize enables real-time changes based on session level insights. That means that users interact with your site, you can dynamically adjust content to better engage them right in the moment. And like here, can you please move to next slide? Amit? Yeah, yeah. And let's highlight some key features that make embedded personalization in XM Cloud so powerful. Like first feature, audience segmentation. Like in audience segmentation, we can easily define and target specific user segments, like based on attributes, location, referral source, or device type, etc. And second feature, page variant. Like we can create multiple versions of a page or section and display the most relevant one to each audience segment. And third one, preview modes. Like we can instantly preview how personalized content will appear to different user segments before going live. And fourth, like real-time data stream. It access up to the minute analytics on how users are interacting with your personalized experiences. And fifth one, like we don't need no code personalization here. Like marketers can set up and manage personalization rules without needing developer support. All these features are designed to help you deliver more relevant, engaging experiences. Please move to next slide.
Yeah, let me quickly cover the some of the details here, right? So,
Yeah.
so this embedded personalization is nothing but it's out of the box capability from the XM Cloud. So when you are buying the license for XM Cloud, so you do not need to separately buy the license because it will giving you the subset of a CDP as well as the personalized, so that you can implement the simple use cases where you are going to build up the simple website or a micro site or a campaign site. So those cases can be easily implemented and you do not need to write any code or anything. You just need to create the page variants and utilize the out of the box condition to apply the personalization. So it is little bit different from the XPXM. Why? Because in XPXM you can add a more than one rules, right, to individual component. But here how it is working, it will be one rules which will be applied to all of the components. So you cannot have a individual condition for an individual component. It will be at a page level, and within a page level, you can customize the content. So that is the major difference between this embedded personalization and the legacy MVC personalization. So we will be showing you the demo, then it will be easy to understand. And also one more thing is that why I am keep telling the subset is that it is not giving you the historical data which is more than 30 days. It's just basically meant for a current session user, like if user is coming from a third party system or user is coming from some campaign. So those things, or user are coming from a different region or a country. So in those cases you can do that. And also, as you aware that when you are working with the XM cloud, that is a head, right? So head is not having a connectivity between your backend code. So then how the personalization is working? For that's why we are having the edge function in between, that is in terms of a middleware, which will do the magic to replace the content for based on a audience as well as the condition you have placed on your page. Where preview mode, like you can easily check the rules and the content how you used to do in the uh, in XP and XM earlier. Site pages and analytics, it is not giving you the as extensive analytics, but you can easily see the dashboard, which is you can say that the high level page inside, you can check that, as well as you can check the inside of a site how your site is performing, and within a site how your pages are performing. Those things you can easily do that. Yes.
Can
Yeah,
you
over
please
to
move
you.
to next slide? Yeah. Yeah, like here, unlike here, we can see the embedded personalization subset of Sitecore CDP and Sitecore personalized. So, like unlike the full Sitecore CDP and personalized products, we support advanced scenario like real-time decisioning, experimentation. But embedded personalization in XM Cloud is streamlined for use of ease and rapid deployment. Like it provides essential personalization capabilities such as audience segmentation, personalized content delivery, tracking, and analytics. And yeah, can you please move to next one?
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add it here. So why we are telling this is as a subset of a Sitecore CDP and personalized, because you are not buying a full-fledged license of the CDP and personalized, because when you are going for a provisioning of a license, so you will be getting a quotation for a bundle, like you want to go with the CDP personalized or not. So in those cases, when you are going with the only the embedded personalization, so you will be getting a set of a CD personalization rules as well as 30 days of historical data. And suppose you need to implement any use cases which is beyond 30 days, or you need to create a separate attribute like you used to do in the Sitecore XP and XM. Like in XConnect, you can add a like a department name, or you can add a you have subscribed to this form or not. Like those attribute you can easily add in the XConnect by creating a uh, attribute for your user profile, Sitecore user profile, right? But those things you cannot do it here because you are not getting a access uh, to verify what are present within a CDP system so that you can go and select, okay, this is my user, and I can go and see that like my name is Amit Kumar, suppose my name is there and my ID is ABC, right? So you cannot go and search there like ABC and see that what profiles are there, because when you are going with the XM Cloud, there is a separate tenant will be provision for you, but you will be not having the access of that, as well as you cannot utilize any API how you used to do in the CDP. You cannot do that. And also the extensive use cases, like suppose the user is coming from a different sources, right? And you need to all club together and you need to have a 360-degree user profile in your backend system, right? How you can create an XPXM or a CDP. On the basis of that, if you need to apply any use cases, suppose user have subscribed to my uh, uh, subscribes plan, or you can say that any events you are organizing it, if user have opt in for that, then display this message. So those type of things you cannot do with the embedded personalization, and for that you need to buy the full-fledged licenses. So I will be explaining the more detailed use cases which will be helpful for you in upcoming slide. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Amit. Yeah, here one important thing to note is that personalization in XM Cloud is more focused at the page level. That means you can dynamically swap out entire sections or modules of a page based on audience conditions, whatever we define in within the experience editor. Like for example, we might show a different hero image to first-time visitors versus returning customers, or highlight a special promotion to users from a specific region. All of this is managed visually and making it easy for marketers to experiment and optimize user journey.
Yeah. So in this, if you are seeing it in the your screen, I have separated two things. One is that how the CM is being set up and how the CDP and personalization are connected with your rendering host. So here, if you are seeing it, I was explaining, right? So when you will buy the Sitecore XM Cloud subscription, so the CMS instance and the editing host will be provisioned by the Sitecore as well as the Experience Edge. So you do not need to have a infrastructure cost for your CM as well as for your CD. This will be provisioned by the Sitecore itself. And you are seeing here is the editing host. So this editing host is nothing but a rendering host only, but it is meant to edit the content and it will be not accessible for the the end user. Why? Because this is being used to edit the content, not meant for the published content. So this will be getting a data from an internal Edge API endpoint from the CM preview API, and it will be displaying your data, which is not published yet to the Experience Edge. But this rendering host, which you need to provision it, either you can do the virtual or those things. So this you need to provision it, and it will be getting a published data from the Experience Edge. So Experience Edge is a product which is a CDN enable and is giving you the GraphQL endpoint. So what it will do when the content author, right, is coming here and publishing the data. So it will publish the content item as well as your layout snapshots and media items, right, will be published, and you can say that the stored into the experience edge, like how you used to place a submit your images on the CDN when you are using the Azure CDN. Same way, this is now as a static data, right? And now after this, there is no connectivity between your experience edge CDN and your front end, right, app. So this front end app is can be built up like a mobile app, kiosk or app or anything. It can be. So that's why Sitecore XM Cloud is supporting the omni-channel implementation. So what happened that all your pages are being stored here. So when the user is coming right and giving the page request like I need to see the home page. So in that case, if if you have worked with the Next.js, so there are two types of build options are there. One is the static site generation, one is the server side rendering, right? So in static site generation, what is happening that when you are building your applications, in those cases, whatever the code base are there and whatever the data is there, right? At the build time, all the pages have been built up and it will be pushed to your app service or a hosting environment where you are deploying it. So everything is ready there. Whenever user is requesting, it will serve the data from there. But in case of SSR, so generally home page people will be building up with the static site generation and rest of the pages people will go with the SSR. So it's depend upon how big your site is, you need to decide that. You need to go with SSG or SSR because if you are having a large number of pages, then your build time will increase. So that is also a not good thing. So in those cases, when you are doing the SSG, everything is present in your data is dumped here, right? So in those cases, what happened that when you will make a page request, so there is a personalization middleware is there. So middleware is nothing but you can correlate with your pipeline in MVC. So if you need to manipulate anything which needs to be served to the user, you need to create a middleware. So in those cases, Sitecore is providing you the personalization middleware, which will be taking care of how the screens or you can say that the pages need to be swiped based on the current user and the historical data which is present in the CDP. So when user is coming here, because you already having the SSG data or you can say that the static site generation is done and you are already having the files and everything here, right? So it will not make a page call to Experience Edge to get the data. Then it will skip that call and it will make a call to the CDP and Personalize to get the current context of the user. Why? Because when you are using the user is hitting that, then in those cases the header have been set and all course related settings have been set in the browser and user context will be set in the cookie. So that cookie ID, you can say that unique ID will be sent to the CDP to see that user is already present or not, right? And what are the conditions user are fulfilling, right? So those segmentation details will be returned here to the user and it will be matched against what you are having currently wrote in your page variants consider. For example, you are having a two page variants. One is that user is coming from the Bangalore location or not, and user is coming from the Jaipur location, right? So in those cases, what happened that so it will be first checking which condition is coming first, right? On the basis of that, it will check that if user segmentation like a current location is a Jaipur, then show the page variants which is matching this condition, right? And then it will skip rest of the things. So in that case, it will manipulate the data and will return to you. But in case of a SSR, there is the only difference is that it the page is not already built up, right? So now middleware needs to build up the page also. So what it will do, it will send a first it will send a call to Experience Edge to get a page content and all the variants. Then it will make a call to the segmentation CDP and personalize in the backend to get all the user segmentation, and then it will do the manipulation. So on the basis of that, whichever condition is serving, suppose first condition is failed, then it will move to the next condition. So here the priority matters, right? But in case of our XPXM, we generally will be having a all the condition, right? Writing in a one in the case of a and or you are having a different component. Some people will add a more than one component uh, with the help of a personalization. Like if you are coming from this region, then show this data, otherwise hide it, right? But you cannot do those things here. You need to create a different variants of that. So with the help of that, it will be serving the personalization content to you. And same way you are having the redirect or anything you need to write as a pipeline. So you can do this. So like I was explaining in the previous slide, the edge middleware. So this is the personalization middleware which will do the magic, or you can say the all the backend work so that it will serve you can get the personalization content to the end user. Any question till this point?
Yeah, one question, Amit. Like here,
Yeah.
uh, the personalization is at page level through the page
Yes.
variant, and in XM we used to have personalization at the component level. So if I talk about my recent application like project on which I'm working, so
Uh-huh,
there
uh-huh.
the client is using the personalization extensively on the component level. So let's say if we have 10 component on a page,
Yes.
so at
Mhm.
least 4 to 5 components having different rule over there. So
Yes.
in that case, it's very tough to move those particular kind of client to XM
Yes.
Cloud.
Yeah, that is the main thing here. That's why I was explaining, right? It is a very rigid, or you can say that you need to do a lot of rework here. So you cannot go with the embedded personalization in this case. Why? Because in embedded personalization, you cannot use the personalization experience provided by the Sitecore Personalize so that you can inject the or HTML, right, directly from the personalization API to the specific code block or a component, right? Those things you cannot do that. And also, like you were telling, you cannot do the page level component personalization, right? So in those cases, suppose 10 components are there, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
needs to be personalized on one page, then you need to create a 10 page variants, right? But
Right.
that also you cannot do with the embedded personalization because embedded personalization having a limitation of 8 page variants, right? So either you need to write a uh, means move the use cases into the page variants and you need to buy the separate license. So that is the major restriction, or you can say that the limitation here.
Okay, so if we go with Sitecore personalized, so in that case, do we have that component level personalization?
Not component. So there is a personalized experience is there. So what it can do that, suppose you are loading the, then it will be a complete a code based implementation, not the out of the box
Okay,
personalization. What will you
so
do? You
through
will,
their script.
yes, yes, through scripts, what you need to see, you will be adding the dear JSS SDK, everything on your page, right? And
Mm-hmm,
whichever page you have, you need to do that. You need to do some calls on the page load. So it will go there and it will pass the whatever the experience, right? You need to apply on your page, right? And then it will
mm-hmm.
go there and it will get the whatever the condition needs to be satisfied, right? So it will satisfy that and then it will bring up that personalized experience and then you can inject that into a page to do the changes. Like how we in the old days we used to do the jQuery dot HTML something changes, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
change that, right? So that way you need to do when you are going with the component level personalization. So one page and 10 personalization rules. So you need to use that way of coding part, not the out of the box way.
Okay, so good amount of update then.
Yes, so you need to write a first thing is that you need to be proficient in writing the personalization in the Sitecore personalization dashboard, personalized dashboard, as well as there are two ways. Either you can completely create a HTML there, right, with static content, or
Mm-hmm,
if you want to make a dynamic, then there also you need to make a call to your XM Cloud Experience Edge to get the data, like whichever data source, right, you want to do that,
mm-hmm.
how we used to do. Then you need to replace there so that every time it will be getting the updated content. Someone do not need to go there and change the content. So there are
Okay,
two ways. So you need
okay,
to follow.
and okay. And here in XM Cloud, we can't create our custom personalization rule, right? We only
No,
can
n-
use.
n- yeah, not here. You, if you are having a
Mm-hmm.
full license, then you can create in the this personalize and you can push it here.
Uh, okay, can you
Full
please repeat?
license you
So, like,
required. Full
okay,
license you
full
required.
license of XM Cloud,
Not exemplar. CDP
the
and
Sitecore
personalize.
personalize. Yep, yeah.
Yes.
So altogether, it's a different license. But with
Yes.
XM Cloud, we can't do that.
No, no, no. Because you are not
Okay.
getting the access to the API endpoints, you cannot do any customization.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got you.
So now I will be moving to the feature comparison. So as I was telling that it is not having the historical data. So here I try to present that what are the differences between embedded XP and CDP and personalized. So like data source, it's a session based. So in XP, you are having the historical data, you can target a session based also. Same way in CDP and personalization, you can target a historical data also, based conditions also, as well as the current session. AI ML support is not here in embedded and XP, but if you will going the CDP and personalized, you will be getting the dynamic personalization type of things. You can use that scalability, like you do not need to provision anything, but in case of XP you need to do the scalability based on the infrastructure part. Integration means, what I am trying to explain it here, that suppose if you are going to extend that with the help of a CDP and personalized, like buying a full-fledged license, so you can integrate that also, you can push that also. But in XP, if you are going with, you are only having a option to utilize whatever is coming out of the box, or you need to write it. Real time data, like you are getting the current user session details, or user is coming from a previous page, or in the past how many times user have visited your website. So those data within a 30 days you can use that. And in XP also, you can get a real-time data, like from where user is coming, or the which geographic region is coming. So those things you can do that. Same way in the CDP and Precise. And data retention is 30 day here. I will be showing you what I am telling this 30 days. And also XP is a long term, and the CDP and Precise is also long term. So XP, you know that you are going to have a shard database and you can store it there. But in case of a CDP, is nothing but a data lake. So you can create as much as data there. You can customize that the user persona. It's based on your requirement, and also from different system, like you are having a CRM system, and from there also you can push it here. User experience is simple, but in case of a XP, it is a complex, because you should be knowing that which condition is there and which type of personalization rule is custom, uh, or a out of the box, and how to utilize that, because those personalization rules are generally will be added by the developer only. And if the business user or a content author knows a specific use case, or you can say that the rules, those only can be easily able to create that. So this is a one matrix which is very useful, and it will be helpful to decide that when you need to go with the embedded personalization, and when you need to go with the uh, your CDP and personalize. So like for example, web data collection, right? So XM Cloud, when you are going with the embedded personalization, you can do the collection, data collection from a XM Cloud based website only, right? But when you need to do the data interaction capturing from the mobile app, kiosk, or you are having any other system which is not built on the Next.js or any other tech stack, right? So in those cases, it is not going to work. So in those cases, you need to buy the CDP and plus license. So whenever you need to buy the licenses or anything, so you can go with the this type of metrics and decide that which specific license you need to buy it, and you can go with that only. So now coming to the session based versus the historical data personalization. So you can easily understand that session based is nothing but embedded, because it is based on the current personalization, current user context, or a current user session only. But in historical, you are having a previous visits of data which is stored in the CDP, and you can manipulate that data, and you can create a custom segmentation also. But here in embedded personalization, you are not having API access. You cannot create a custom rules, and also if you need to capture data from a different channel, you can't do that here. And let me give you a one example which will be able to help you to understand this better. So for example, you are having a client or a organization which are having a business in a like a offline business also. They are having their grocery stores also, their shops also, and they are having their travel agency also, and they are having their e-commerce website also, as well as they are having their public information site also, where they are displaying the informative data related to many things, right? So for example, if one user is going to their offline store and buying some goods related to the summer activities, right? So generally most of the organizations are having their membership type of things, right, which will be easily able to identify that who you are, right? And so that buying uh, conditions being pushed to the CRM system, right? Because CRM system is having a data like this user have bought these things under which category. So now you are having a bad job, which will be overnight will be pushing that data to the CDP, Sitecore CDP, because when you are going with the full-fledged license, you can get a CDP endpoint also where you can push the data. Now you are pushing that data with a attribute like uh, uh, which what is the last buying category, for example, that is a summer activity, right? So you have stored that into the Sitecore CDP and you have make the user persona there, right? And now that user is going again to your travel website, right? And from there it's buying a tickets related to the some areas where they can do the summer activities. So that data also you captured from your travel website or a travel app or a mobile app and you have pushed to the Sitecore CDP. Now that data is also ingested, right? And now it is coming to your e-commerce website, for example, right? So now you user is logged into your website. Now you know that user is having your last plan visit for user is the summer destination and they have also bought the uh, goods related to the summer activities. So you can combine that. You can create a segmentation in your CDP and you can get that a profile of a user that this user is belong to the summer activities, right? And you can float or you can say that the display the offers or a product related to the summer activities, right? So that way also you can target the data from a different sources and utilize the Sitecore CDP and personalize to build up the seamless user experience, right? So that's way this historical data is comes into the picture, which will be very helpful for you. But those things you cannot do in the embedded personalization. So when and why to use XM Cloud? So like as I was explaining that you will be having a real-time related conditions or your user is coming from a different region or you need to see that who is the referrer from which website user is coming, which geolocation, as well as how many times user have visited the website in the past 10 days, right? So those type of conditions are there and you are having a simple use cases, right? So with the help of a metrics which I shown you earlier, right? So you already decided that which way we need to go, right? And what are the simple use cases? If you are building up a microsites or a multi-site architecture is there and you are building a website for a different product itself, right? So in those cases, you will be not having extensive use case. You always having user I visited my this page, so display a this product related information to the end user. So those use cases you can easily implement that and you can go with the embedded personalization. And when to consider CDP and personalize. So as I was explaining, where you are looking for a custom segmentation, custom rules, or you need to ingest the data from a different systems into the CDP and you need to build a 360-degree user profile and you need to create a different personas or a segmentation in the CDP. And also you need to get a AI ML decision models. So in those cases, you can go with the CDP and personalization full-fledged licenses. So use cases like page level personalization, you can easily do that, but you cannot target a component level. And also geolocation, as I explained earlier, and audience segmentation, you can just utilize the out of the box. And you can personalize the promotion, like as I said that if you are coming from a different campaign to your landing page or any other page, then show the uh, personalized product to the users, or you want to show the feature list component type of things, or you need to change that. So in those cases, you can do that, and also you can. It will be very helpful. For example, uh, in a real example, suppose you are building for a some insurance domain or a banking domain website where you need to show a different locations addresses, right? So in those cases you can utilize this, like user is coming from a this location, then the branch address will be this one. If user is coming from a location C, then you can utilize this out of the box. But you need to be uh, think of the condition limitation that it can support only the 8 personalization rules, page variants, and the 5 rules within a one page variants. So now let me move to the demo of if this how it is being working. So let me share my screen. So when you will be opening the this XM Cloud Pages editor, let me reload. This is the one app which I deployed to the Vercel. So when you will load the website and open your specific website, so you are seeing here this target icons are there, right? So this is nothing but it is showing that these pages have personalizations, right? And also on the top you are seeing the editor, templates, personalize and analyze. So when you will click on the personalize, so it will give you that how many number of page variants have been created for this page, means how many versions of a personalized versions of your pages are present. So these are the nothing but a page variants and you can create a 8. So and when this is the default variant when you are creating the page, and this is for example this I have created a page variant, and when you will go there and you can see the preview also which you are seeing it here, right? And whichever is showing as a green, it means those components are already personalized, and whichever is the amber color, it means you can do the personalization. So based on how you have created your component, right, or how you have created your data source, it will allow you to personalize like how we used to do in the uh, Sitecore MVC, right? You need to utilize the this Sitecore provided uh, views, right? HTML objects, right? You need to use that. Then only you will be able to edit the pages in the experience editor. Same way, if you are going with the JSS SDK only, then only you can do the personalization or you can try to implement the personalization here. Otherwise, you can't do that. Why? Because if the content is not editable, right, then how you will swap the content? Because you are not having anything in the back end which can change it. So you always need to think of while you are developing your project that starting your project that you are following the using the Sitecore JSS SDK so that you can give the experience editor support or the content editing support in the this WYSIWYG editor as well as you can apply the personalization rule. So that way you can apply the personalization. So suppose if you are clicking here, then you will go to the uh, let me where it is. Let me create the create variant and demo and next. So with the help of that, you can create the page variants and it will give you the canvas. So when you will click here, it will prompt you the what are the available conditions are there. So it will automatically tagged a what are the out of the box are there. So you can see that like a date, right? So these are based on the date and time. So suppose if you will click here, the visit is or is not before this date, right? Based on your organization time zone, right? So you can set the time zone also for your organization, or you can say that your instance. So based on that, you can apply that. Like user have visited your website. Suppose you are running some campaign, right? And you need to give a promotional code or something to user. So you need to give a promotion when the promotion is active, right? So those cases, this condition can be used, and you can add a condition also like a and or like you need to add a more than one condition you need to satisfy, then you can do that, or will be working like you need to fulfill you are having a two or three condition. If any of the condition is fulfilled, then you need to change the content, then you can utilize that. So same way, these are the date based, and same way when you will go there, there is a device based conditions are there. So it means that the visitor is using it these many device, right? So for example, you have created a component which will be having a large amount of content, which is easily user can use that in the desktop. But when it is coming to the mobile device, this content will be not looking good. So in those cases, you can swap the data source of uh, your component, and you can display the mobile friendly data. Or you are having a conditions, right, where you are having a different device images, right? So in those cases, you can swap the images based on the uh, devices also. And same way, from which operating systems user are using it. So this is very useful. For example, you need, generally you have seen that, right? When you are going to any website, when you are accessing a Android OS, then you are only seeing the Android OS links to download the app. When you are on the iOS specific this, then you are seeing the iOS related icons to download the app. So those simple use cases, right? But the useful use cases, you can implement this. So if you are with this way, you can add the condition, and suppose this is the geo condition. So like the visitor is in country, United States, and the region. So currently the regions are specific to only the US only. You are not having the out of the box, you are not having the regions which you can cover. Like suppose if I need to cover a region related to India, right? Different states. So I can't do that because it is not supported currently here. But uh, if I need to give the region like Africa, North America, Oceania, Asia, Europe, then you can specifically target a Asian region altogether. Like you need to cover a Singapore, or you need to cover India or other continents within Asia, then you can do that. And when you need to target specific country, like you are seeing here, like you can use up to five condition, right? So that is the major, you can say that the limitation, like up to eight variants and up to five condition I can use that only. So if you will see that you can target the different countries. So if user is coming from a different countries, but here you can't do the things like how we used to do in the XPXM, like you are having a one component and you need to change the, you are having a different variant of a component, or a you have added a within a one panel in the XPXM, you can add a different condition, like if user is coming from a this, or then display this data source, right? You can select the data source, or user is coming from a this, you can display. So all this you can do in the uh, one condition only. But here you can't do that. Why? Because if you are seeing here, I am having a one condition where I am covering the uh, Asian region, like I am changing this content, and other I have created for a Europe geo, right? And here I have created a USA geo. So you cannot have a one component condition, and within that you cannot have a or like this. You can't do that. You need to create a variant only, or you need to go with the personalization only, full-fledged license to implement the personalization rules. And also, let me show you one more. So it is a preview how the conditions are looking. If you will click on the build, you can add a more condition. Suppose if I am trying to show you a point of user interactions, right? So user interaction is very useful when you are building a website where you are having a camp, you are promoting your website to a social media or anywhere. So then these UTM parameters equal to, or UTM value, this will be source, medium, or UTM content. So this way you can easily manage, and also is equal to from where the website is coming, right? Visitor come from URL. If any third party website where also you are giving promoting your your website or a pages, then generally when you are landing here, you are seeing some prompt, right? Welcome back, or you have visited this website and we are giving you this sort of promotion. So that also you can do that. And if it is a new or returning user, then also it will be a, very useful where you can give the welcome message. And same way, visit, like I was explaining, right? The visitor has or has not visited this page within the past these days, and the total number of page views is compared to this. Suppose some marketing website or a website is having a condition like if user are the old user have visited these many times, right? Then you need to show some pages. So those things we need to write in custom in the XPXM, but here it's out of the box. So there we need to write a custom logic where we need to go and check that how many times user have visited in my backend custom rules in the MVC, but here it's out of the box. So with this way, you can add the condition into your pages, but if you are seeing here, you are easily able to identify that it is only a you can say that the simple conditions are there. You cannot you are not having very extensive use cases which you can utilize it. So this is point of the sale is nothing but like suppose you are having a multi-site implementation. So this point of sale is nothing but is targeting to your specific website, right? So in those cases, it will be very useful. So with the help of that, you can implement the logic and implement the personalization rules which are coming as a out of the box. And also when you will be clicking on this here, right? So you are seeing that you can hide the component or you can create the new content also, whichever you want to change it. Like you need to change the data source, you can do that. So once this is done, you just need to publish the page so that all the page variants will be reached to the experience edge. So suppose if you are having the SSG or website, then ISR will be after 5 seconds, whatever the you have set the condition. If you are making a again request to the home page, then your code base will again go and make a call to the experience edge to get the data because your page have been has been expired. But if SSR, so every time it will go and fetch the experience edge to build up the page. So with this way, you will be easily able to implement the personalization in your Sitecore XM Cloud website, right? You cannot utilize this with the any other website because you are not having the API or anything, and you can only track the web interface of XM Cloud, desktop interface, not the mobile tracking. If you are developing it, you cannot do with the embedded personalization. So so how this is working in the real time, so let me quickly explain. So this I have covered. So what happened that this user flow diagram is there. So you need to correlate this with the how the personalization middleware is working. So suppose user is landing to your website. So you have seen the condition, right? So those condition will be evaluated, right? If condition evaluation logic is true, then whatever the users are there, right? So it will assign the audience to that and display the personalization content. So before this, right, all the audience segmentation is have been come from the CDP and personalization by the personalization middleware, and it is with the personalization middleware code base or a business logic, and that business logic is evaluating that which condition of a user is matching with the which page variant, and on the basis of the condition is matching, like I was having a conditions related to the Asia and US and the Europe region. So if the audience segmentation is matching, it will display the personalization content and assign the audience to the user and display the personalization content. And visitor, if visitor is navigating to another page, then the same process of getting a page variants or doing the all manipulation will be happening. And again, this flow of re-evaluating the user audience will be happening. It's not like that you have visited one time, all the data have been stored. So every time when you will make the call to a different pages, personalization middleware again do the logic to get the required data and applying this audience assignment and the personalization content delivery logic to display the personalization content to user. Suppose if you are not having any personalization condition or anything, it's a default variant, then this will be skipped and it will just serve the default variant to you. But if you are having a more than one variant, so in those cases, this condition logic will be happening to decide that which specific segmentation you belongs to. So coming to the analyze, suppose now you have implemented the personalization, right? So how you are going to identify that? What happened? How you are going to identify that how your site is performing, right? So in those cases, Sitecore XM Cloud embedded personalization is providing you the inbuilt dashboard to of the reports to analyze that, right? So suppose you can analyze a your websites also. Suppose you are having a multi-site implementation, right? So how your individual site is performing, it is giving you the visitor also average time visits, how the generic you can say that the parameters are present in the any analytics report, those are present like visits and time of the day, top pages, it is also give you as a in this also, and also the top countries from where users are coming. And same way, it is giving you the first page or previous period, recent period, those things are there. And also from where user have visited most of the time your website, those things also will be going like I am directly accessing this. So that's why the direct URLs are present. Suppose if you are having a website and promoting to different platform, then those refresh will be coming here. And also which browser user is using, which operating system, those things will be coming here. Same way it is also providing you the page insights so that you can check that how your page is performing. So suppose home page I was having a different page variant. So here there is a one good thing is that you can compare that how your two pages are performing. Suppose if you are going to implement a some type of A/B testing or something, right? So you can utilize this and see that how your users are interacting with different pages. Like if user is returning user, give this page. If user is a new user, display this page, right? So you can identify that if you are having a two variants of pages, how user is interacting with a both two pages, you can identify that. And you with this case, you can add that variant also. Sorry, this, and you can compare it. It will give you the both the variants data, analytics data, and you can compare that how the pages are performing. But you cannot add a more than two page variants. And I was keep talking about the 30 days. So why I was telling that? So here you cannot get an insight more than 30 days, right? So same way, you need to think of a condition which I was showing you that user have visited the website in the past 30 days. You cannot write a data beyond the 60 days because you are not getting a that analytics data. If user is coming today and you are mentioning a 60 days data, it cannot give you. Why? Because you are not getting you are not having access to get a data beyond the 30 days based on your current date. So that way you need to restrict the things. So this also providing you the variants, how the different page variants are performing, what are the top countries are there, as well as the sources from which sources it's are coming, and also the browser. So with this insight, like these are the simple insight, but if you are having a use cases where you need to identify that uh, which specific user is accessing to your user page, right? So in those cases, you need to buy the CDP and you need to access the user profile. And there also, suppose if you are having a some custom dashboard where you need to group together with the help of a departments or anything, right? Subscription, then you need to push the data from CDP Personalize to the Power BI type of product to build up a custom report, or any third party system which is accepting the data via API endpoint. You need to ingest that data over there. This I have covered. This also I have covered. Sorry. So now the data privacy, when you are moving to the any SaaS product or any product, so you need to think of how the compliance rules are there, right? and how the data security and retention policies are there. So retention is at 30 days and the data security is AES 256 TLS 1.2. So these all details you can easily find with your Sitecore representative, or you can go to the Sitecore developer portal and there also you can find this. Limitation, as I explained many times, no AI ML, only page level personalization, limited variant condition, aggregate data will be less. You can utilize only out of the box, and there is no customization. You can do that. So now I have reached to the Q&A session. So feel free to ask question if you have any.